I'm back with the next part of our Army of the Dead series, and last time we managed to take Frostfang Camp from the Free Folk. And today, if everything goes to plan, we will eliminate the Free Folk once and for all. The plan going forward is to leave behind some soldiers. We're going to need a garrison in Frostfang to ensure the enemy don't retake it. Then we're going to march south and take Frozen Shore. Once we've eliminated Frozen Shore, we are going to have to march to the complete other side and take Hardhome. It will be the last fortress belonging to the Free Folk, and once Hardhome falls, that will be the end of them. And assuming everything goes to plan and we don't run into any issues along the way, such as any armies coming north or anything like that, we can then launch our attack on the wall. Once we take the wall from the Night's Watch, we can make our way south, eliminate the Night's Watch all along the remainder of the wall, and then Westeros is ours. We are in the mainland. They won't be able to stop us. Well, that being said, we're technically in the mainland right now. I mean, it is one big island, but you know where I mean. We'll actually be south of the wall that's trying to keep us out. I said last time that our first objective is going to be eliminating the Night's Watch. Once we take all of the wall, the entirety of the true north will be in our hands. Then we can decide whether we want to continue south or whether our mission is complete. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. We can't talk about taking down the Night's Watch if the Free Folk are still a thing. So undead soldiers, we are going to leave some of you behind. The garrison can hold 586, but we're not going to be able to fill that up. Unless I'm willing to leave behind pretty much my entire army, which doesn't make sense to me. We're just going to have to leave behind a few hundred, I think. 300 should be enough. That leaves us with 430 soldiers, which shouldn't be an issue, and we should be able to take down a castle. We may need some extra soldiers when we march on Hardhome, but it is time. It is time for the Undead to finally bring down the Free Folk. We are not going to get a better opportunity than this. There are undead armies scattered all around. We have to bring them down now. I guess it's not going to be as easy as we thought. On our way to Frozen Shore, we have run into a Free Folk army of 400 soldiers. They're on their way to retake Frostfang, so we can't allow that. That being said, the Great Walrus is right next to us with 700 soldiers. My friend, can't you just do a U-turn and assist us with this army? No, you're going to run away? Well, that's a bit of a pain. Never mind, the army has caught the attention of the Great Walrus. And we have the enemy army right where we want them. The Great Walrus is assisting us, so we shouldn't suffer too many losses since we heavily outnumber them. And we can use this as an opportunity to gain more soldiers for our attack on Frozen Shore. The enemy are right in front of us. There shall be no tactics. We shall just hit them with the undead swarm. We run at them at full speed, men. It shall be a fight to the death. The undead heavily outnumber them. The Free Folk don't stand a chance. This is it for them. The end of their nation. No survivors. The Free Folk shall be no more. Once we eliminate these, they shall rise once more as undead soldiers. And we have eliminated the first batch of enemies. They didn't stand a chance. Hang on a minute. There's a giant fighting for his life. It is time for a rematch. The last time we faced one of these, it didn't go well. We're only doing 1 damage at a time. But the swarm will not be stopped. He's taking multiple of us down with a single swing. Just keep attacking, men. He can't hope to eliminate us all. I think we're gonna have to come down from the horse. Oh, never mind. He has been eliminated. And the club shall be mine. The enemy are attempting to flee, but we won't allow them to. We will catch up and we will eliminate them. We're gonna play a game of polo. Smack! 500 damage. These clubs are overpowered, man. Well, we didn't leave the battle with many more soldiers than we went in with. I think we started the attack with about 430 and we ended up with about 480. I think due to the size of the Great Walrus's army, he took out majority of the enemies, and not only that, but we lost about 30 soldiers in the fight as well. But every soldier counts. We did leave with more than we started with, so I can't complain too much, and now it is time to launch an attack on the castle. We could raid a village in order to stock up on more troops, but I don't think it's necessary. I think we have enough to get the job done. There are 300 defenders inside this castle. They have about 10 days worth of food. I don't know if we can starve them out for the 10 days, but we will destroy these defenses. We can't charge an enemy castle that is filled with catapults. It is time to unleash the undead horde. We shall not wait any longer. We have eliminated the enemy's defenses. It is time to launch our attack. Attack my undead soldiers. Eliminate the living. Take down everyone who dares hide inside this castle. Once this castle falls, we are one step away from eliminating the free folk. Make it count, men. Make it count. There aren't many archers. There's no one to stop us. Let's breach the enemy's walls and eliminate them. Forwards, men. Forwards. Undead horde, attack. Forwards, men! Alright, we've come to a little stop. This is unfortunate. The undead soldiers are not advancing. Forwards, men! Push the enemy out of the castle! It shall be ours! I'm not too sure why all the enemy archers are back here instead of defending the walls right now. I'm not going to complain too much though. They're all rounded up nicely for us to eliminate them. The problem right now is the infantry. The garrison is better quality than expected. Look at all these thin soldiers in their armor. We're not going to be able to punch through this defense. We're going to suffer heavy losses. We may have to sound the retreat. The undead. I don't know if they can pull this off. Well, this is unfortunate. My horse seems to be stuck. I'm gonna have to jump down for now, I think. Out of all the things I managed to do, I get my damn horse stuck. We're outnumbered. We're not going to be able to hold back this many enemies. It may be over for us. This thin soldier is giving it his all. Have we finally breached the enemy's defenses, or are we stuck? I think we're stuck. I need some kind of boulder or fire pot if I'm gonna take down the enemy. These normal free folk soldiers are not a problem. We can chop our way through them. It's the thin knights. Look at them. How many can I slice through? What's the damage report, men? We've lost about 150 soldiers against their 110. We are suffering more losses than them. You know what, men? Down the retreat. It is over. We are not gonna win this day. We may have lost the first battle, but the war is not over yet. For we are the undead army. We can starve them out. We don't have to launch our attack right now. For we do not rest. We do not eat. We shall stand here and starve them. They have nowhere to go. Backup is not arriving. We have eliminated everyone who could assist them. It is only a matter of time before this castle falls. It is just as we planned. We have starved out the enemy garrison and only a militia of 100 soldiers remain. It is time for the second battle, men. The swarm shall be upon them once more. They may have been able to stop our first attack, but in a war of attrition, the undead will always win. There shall be no stopping us this day. Frozen Shore shall fall and belong to the undead. Although I say there's no stopping us, the men have come to a halt. What is going on? There is only an army of 100 militia. We should be able to run straight through them. Why have you come to a stop, men? Forwards! Attack! Eliminate them all! We are inside the castle. It is only a matter of time before the battle is over. And the enemy have abandoned all hope. We have taken the castle, but it came at a much greater cost than expected. I am now down to only 270 soldiers. With the amount of soldiers we lost in the fight, followed by the amount of soldiers I had to leave as a garrison, we just don't have enough in the army anymore. We're not going to be able to march on Hardhome with less than 300. Hardhome being the final settlement of the Free Folk, we're going to need probably at least 500 soldiers as a minimum. And not only that, but we've received word that the Night's Watch is trying to take Fist of the First Men. So we are going to now have to march east in order to defend our territory and to get to Hardhome. The hope is that on our journey, maybe we can encounter some enemies, raid some villages, find something in order to make up the missing troops. If we get to Hardhome and we still don't have at least 500 soldiers, we may have to put the attack on hold for now. The question is, will someone come to the aid of Fist of the First Men, or are we on our own? Are there any other undead armies nearby that could take them down? The enemy army is 300 strong. There are 300 defenders in Fist of the First Men. It's not going to be an easy fight for them. They should suffer some losses, and they're now up to 400 soldiers. I see. They're still calling upon reinforcements. Depending on how large this army becomes, kind of depends on whether we can take them down or not. And now we've just received word that the Night's Watch are taking Frozen Shore. I stand corrected. It is not the Night's Watch attempting to take Frozen Shore. It is the North. The North has marched all this way just to eliminate us. I don't even know where they came from. Surely they would have had to have crossed this bridge in order to get there. I don't see any other way in order to get to our territory. How did they pull it off? Can you sail in this game? I have no idea. Well, I assume there must be some kind of travelling by water considering there's islands in the game. When I last played this mod, I believe you had to travel at set routes on the map. I don't think you were freely able to sail anywhere you want, but maybe that's changed. I have no idea, but somehow the North has got around us and is attempting to retake the well, I say retake, they never had it. They're attempting to take the castle from us. The one I just risked all of our soldiers for. Damn them, man. Damn them. Backup is on the way, it seems, though. Lord of Bones and Mance Raider are just down the road. If they come and defend Fist of the First Men, we can turn our attention to the Northern Army. Never mind. They're now going somewhere else. Make up your mind, lads. Are you going to come and assist us? Oh, there you go. They're on their way once more. The enemy army has abandoned the siege because reinforcements arrived, but now they're going to turn their attention to the settlement in the north. I don't know if they'll be able to take Frostfang. Frostfang actually has more defenders than Fist of the First Men, so it's going to be tougher for them, but with their quality of troops, they may be able to pull it off. But we are now going to have to run to Frozen Shore. By the time the enemy army marches to Frostfang camp, it gives us a bit of a delay, and we can turn our attention to the north, and then we'll have to go back and eliminate the Night's Watch. but it also depends on what kind of northern army we're dealing with. We're looking at an army of 500 soldiers. Well, it looks like my entire Undead kingdom is starting to fall apart. There is a northern army taking Frozen Shore. The Night's Watch army has arrived at Frostfang and have begun their attack. And we've just received word that another army has launched an attack on Fist of the First Men. Lord of Bones has over 500 soldiers. Lord of Bones, my friend, defend our territory, eliminate the enemy. Surely they don't have that large of an army. Mance Rayder has arrived and has managed to scare away the Northern Army. They've abandoned the siege for now, which gives us time. Instead of being able to chase them down, we're now going to have to run to another settlement. Well, all of the attacks by the enemy have failed. Not one of them managed to successfully pull off a siege. Fist of the First Men still stands. The Northern Army got chased away by Mance Rayder, and now the Night's Watch army has disbanded. I don't know if the others were mercenaries that might have abandoned them, because the army looks like it's still there, but a lot of the lords abandoned it. So we're going to allow the enemy lords to run away for now. The mercenaries can go on their way, and hang on a minute, the mercenaries have just made peace with us. Well, that's great for us because now it leaves the Night's Watch army in a vulnerable position. We can eliminate them, increase our numbers, and hopefully we'll have enough soldiers to start progressing towards Hardhome. Where do you think you're going, my friend? There is no out for you. You made this decision. You marched north of the wall, and this is your punishment. We will get you one way or another, my friend. You cannot run forever. And we have finally caught up to the enemy. We shall eliminate the Night's Watch, and then we will turn our attention to our next victim. The infantry is going to head on clash with the enemy. We're not going to play any tactics, we're just going to run at them. The cavalry, on the other hand, shall follow me, and when the timing is right, we shall launch our attack. The enemies have their backs to the wall. There is nowhere for them to go. I'm pretty sure they've retreated as far back as they can, and while they keep running, they're not able to shoot at the infantry. So keep running, my friend. Run as much as you want. The longer you take to get into position, the less effective your archers shall be, and the easier it will be to eliminate you. Are you ready, cavalry? We shall soon charge the enemy and eliminate them. Forwards, men! Attack! The hill has managed to slow down our advances, which does help the enemy a little bit, but it is not going to be that much of an issue. We shall still be able to eliminate them effectively. I assume this is the enemy leader. No? It is just a random Night's Watch horseman. You must be the leader, my friend. There we go. And the enemy's morale surely shall be crushed. And they have been eliminated. The battle is already over. And with that great victory, our army is now up to 360 soldiers. We are getting stronger each day. Sometimes when we're lucky, we're able to catch up to enemy bandits. For example, this one only has 18 soldiers, so if I send in the troops, we didn't lose anyone. We only had one wounded undead, and now we can add about 20 soldiers to the army. This is a good way to stock up on troops because we're now up to over 400 soldiers and we can just keep cleaning up the enemy parties while making our way towards Hardhome. The only issue is we can't exactly catch them all. Due to their size, it does make them a little bit awkward to try and catch up, but sometimes you can corner them on the edge. And there is a Night's Watch army marching past us. Well then, Alistair Thorne, where do you think you're going, my friend? If we can catch up with him and eliminate him, we should have enough soldiers to march on Hardhome. You have just got yourself stuck, my friend. Was it really wise of you to raid that village? Once we have eliminated this enemy army, there will be nothing left to stop us. We should be able to have a clean march to Hardhome and eliminate the Free Folk once and for all. We will bring an end to their kingdom. It is over for them. Then we can finally turn our attention to the wall. All those south of the wall believe they are safe for now. They think there's no way we can get them. But they are mistaken. Soon the land of the living shall be no more. We will eliminate everyone in our path. The enemy aren't even reacting to me. What's going on? They're in awe of the undead army. They don't know how to react. The cavalry is just going to run through them, disrupt their formation, and the infantry should be able to just swoop in and clean up. Everyone, just charge, men. Eliminate them. I think the Night's Watch have truly fumbled this battle. I don't know what their tactic was. They have a few elite rangers, but I think the majority of their army is recruits, so we shouldn't have too much trouble. It's just the fact that they've managed to like stuff themselves in the far corner of the map, which is a bit of a pain. But the undead horde is upon them, and soon there shall be no survivors. And the enemy have been eliminated. Originally I said we would need an army of at least 500 soldiers if we're going to bring an end to Hardhome. We weren't going to be able to do it with any less, and now we have about 550. There is nothing to stop us now. We must march on the enemy and finally eliminate them. The time has come where everything north of the wall shall belong to the undead. This was not what I was expecting when I marched on Hardhome. All of the Free Folk Lords are stuck in this corner. Because there's nowhere for them to go since we've conquered all of the other territory, they're just scattered and alone here. The only issue is, alone, they won't be able to take us down. We should win a fight with every single lord. But if they all banded together and formed a super army, they could actually eliminate us and prevent our advances. So we need to be careful. We somehow need to target some of the enemy lords and eliminate them one-on-one. We can't find ourselves in a fight with them all. Right now we've managed to attack a single lord with only 60 soldiers. We should be able to tell the men to just attack without us. We shouldn't suffer that many losses. But since we are the undead army, for every lord we defeat, we're just going to get stronger. So the longer it takes for the enemy to finally sort out their formation and launch an attack on us, we may be able to take enough of them down that we're just too strong anyway. And regardless of how many soldiers there are, they just won't be able to stop us. This time we find ourselves in a 600 v 200. I will send in the troops, but if we start losing too many soldiers, we will have to scrap that idea and battle here ourselves. Well, in the end, we only lost 16 and we're gonna gain about 200. And now we have nearly 850 soldiers under our command. With an army of this size, it would be foolish not to launch our attack now. There is no point in delaying any further. I don't think there's enough lords remaining that if they all band together, they'll actually be able to eliminate us. So we are going to lay siege to Hardhome. There are nearly 1,000 defenders here, so if we charge head on, it's not going to go well. But the garrison is about to starve, and that'll take away 400 of their soldiers. And the enemy defences are no more. Along with that, the garrison has been starving to death. There are now 500 defenders. Even though we've eliminated the garrison, it is still going to be a tough battle. With 500 enemy soldiers funneling us into two sections of the wall, it's not going to be easy. But this is our best chance of eliminating the Free Folk. We're not going to have a better opportunity than this, so we are going to have to launch the attack. This could be the moment where we finally eliminate every living person north of the wall. The enemy fortress is covered in archers. Unlike the previous castle we launched the attack on, no one was defending the walls, but this time the enemy are everywhere. If there's this many on the walls, how many are inside? I think for this one, I'm going to have to get down from my horse and assist the men in getting in. We need to help them eliminate as many enemy soldiers as possible. I'm going to have to strategically pick off the ones on the side in order to open up a gap for our soldiers. Any soldier who turns his back to me is getting a nice sword to the back of the skull. If only we could raise the dead mid-battle. That would be great. We could grow our army as we're fighting. But I fear that would make us a bit unstoppable. For every soldier we eliminate, we could just raise them back up and the enemy won't be able to stop us. But I am slowly chiseling my way through their defenses. We're slowly making a bigger gap for the men to get inside, and soon the undead shall be upon them. Have we done enough? Have we made a big enough gap that the undead can now just swarm them? Is it over for the enemy? The other side of the wall, I imagine, is not going to fall without my assistance. So we need to try and eliminate this side in order to help the others. But I think it's safe to say that this part of the settlement has fallen. We have managed to take half of Hardhome at least for now. I don't need to sound the retreat just yet. Some of the enemy soldiers are retreating though, or they just regroup into another position. I have no idea. The enemy archers are pulling back. But they're pulling back into the swarm, so they shall eliminate those. I am going to make my way around the castle to see what's going on the other side. Okay, it is what I thought. The undead soldiers have yet to make it inside the walls. Without our assistance in opening up a gap for them, they're just not going to be able to pull it off themselves. The enemy's defense is too great. The Free Folk are not going to back down from a fight. After all, this is their final stand. Once Hardhome falls, that is it. It is an end of their kingdom. And backup has arrived, men. Don't you worry. We shall soon assist you in taking Hardhome. The settlement shall fall, and the living shall die. The soldiers tried their best, but they just couldn't breach the enemy's defenses. All that remains is the archers along the wall, for I have no idea how to get up to them. They're just eliminating us right now. We need to find the stairs, men. The settlement has been designed in such a way that it's really awkward to get to the archers. We're having to run like a mile around the castle walls in order to get there. And we have finally arrived. The last of the defenders. There is nowhere for you to go, my friends. This is it. This is the end. And Hardhome, the last stronghold belonging to the Free Folk, has fallen. It is over, men. The undead horde has eliminated them all. After leaving a garrison to defend Hardhome, we still have just under 600 soldiers, so the army is in a pretty good position right now. Fist of the First Men is under siege, but if it's like any of the others, they're not going to go through with it and they'll soon abandon it. But now the entirety of the north belongs to the undead. Well, the true north anyway. But next time we must turn our attention further south. The undead army shall march on the wall. We will take the fight to the Night's Watch. They've been sending constant armies north in order to raid us and try to take us down, but it hasn't been working. But now we shall take the fight to them for once, and we shall conquer all of their territory. But that is all we're going to have time for now. So as always, if you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, and until next time, see ya.